Good evening and welcome to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen meeting. It is March 7th, 2024. It is 7 p.m. I call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum. Tonight the prayer will be with Alderman Waldron. The Pledge of Allegiance will be with the Vice Mayor No. If everyone would please rise for the prayer and the pledge.
Dear Heavenly Father, we gathered here with bowed head and humble hearts celebrating your Son, Jesus. Give us the wisdom and guidance on these issues we have in front of us tonight. Be with the brave men and women that is serving our country here and across the world. Be with the people that's suffering and need to watch over us and be safe. Bless this meeting and bond this community. We give thanks to all the things that you have done for us. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item this evening is to approve the minutes from the February 1st, 2024 workshop, the February 6th, 2024 public hearing, and the February 6th, 2024 regular meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve from Alderwoman Haas. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Vice Mayor No. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
Motion passes. We have nobody signed up for a public comment period. Moving on to the departmental reports. Chief Mays.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. The report you have before you, I think it pretty much speaks for itself. Do you have any questions in regards to the report?
Yes, sir. I have two.
Absolutely.
First, I'm going to take it that the shoplifting is still our very enthusiastic Walmart.
Exceptional work by a loss prevention employee, yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. I like to hear that. And then I do want to point out one thing that's actually very good on here is the number of recovered stolen vehicles has gone up 100%. So that's good.
Yes, and we'll be talking with you. I want to speak with Bruce first and just discuss with him some plans that we have moving forward for the summer, but we have some proactive initiatives that we're going to be unveiling in the near future, but we'll have those conversations before we bring it to the board's knowledge.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome. Have a good night.
Moving on to the fire department. Chief Beasley.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. I trust that you've had an opportunity to review the monthly report. I see no unusual trends within the department or any of our responses. Do you have any questions?
Just been noticing some a little bit more than usual structure fires.
Yes, sir.
So any underlying similarities as to a cause?
No, sir. Each one of the last three in the last 30 days, completely unrelated. Electrical fires, cooking fires, just nothing that we could say there's a trend towards. It's same, and if you look at, I mean, we dropped in grass fires. I mean, those trends don't change unless there's an arson.
Okay.
How many vacancies y'all got on your department right now?
Two. Yes, sir. Includes the class that is in the recruits right now.
Thank you, sir. Mm-hmm. Moving on to Parks and Recreation Department, Mr. David McGowan.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Board, thank you. You guys have the parks numbers for the month. 90 help desk tickets, 732 man hours devoted to those. You can see our upcoming events. March 23rd from 10 a.m. to 11:30, our While Supplies Last. That will be our Easter drive-through at Veterans Memorial Park. Past events for the Senior Center, Valentine's Day lunch was February the 12th. You can see our upcoming meetings on March the 18th. Senior Center Advisory is planned at this time, as well as Park and Rec and the Historical Preservation. Any questions?
David, how many people are we planning for the Easter drive-through?
Last year, we ran out about 11, so we are doubling. I think the library planned for 750, and they made it a little further than we did, so I think we are planning for around 2,000.
And we talked about this at the Park and Rec meeting. We got a lot more departments that's going to be participating and helping, and
I think we have 4 or 5 at this point, fire, police, library, which they're always with us, Park and Rec, Public Works, and I'm not sure, I think City Hall may have a representative there. Jules is always good about coming out and helping us out. So, yeah, we plan on it to be a great day.
awesome.
It'll be good to see
Thank
Doug
you.
out there. Moving on to the library department. I think this month that's Miss Donna. Is that right, Andrew?
Absolutely.
Oh, she has a bag of beauties.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Aldermen, good evening. It's so good to see you. I do want to thank Andrew for doing the report last month. I heard he did an excellent job, and it was very much appreciated. For the month of February, you can see our numbers. They're holding about the same. New library patron cards, really excited about that, 95. Most of those were adult cards, so very excited about that. I want to just go through our list a little bit here. I'm going to take up the time that these gentlemen left for me, which I really appreciate. The Laverne Library Board will meet Monday, March the 11th, 2024 at 5 p.m. here at City Hall Boardroom. We'll have Katie Driver with us this year at this time, and we're so excited about that. We have been working on bylaws and a few other things that's going to be good for the library. I appreciate the support that the board gives us. There will be no regular story times the week of spring break, which is March 25th through March 28th would be our story times, but no story times that week. We will resume story times on Monday, April the 1st. And the Laverne Public Library will be closed on Friday, March 29th for Good Friday, a city holiday. And then the staff will take a regular day off on Saturday, March 30th, so that they can have an Easter weekend. The library will resume regular hours on Monday, April the 1st, 2024. I want you to look up at the very colorful block there. This is a very exciting thing that has happened. Ginger Levison is a student at Miami University. She is getting her master's, and for her master's, she did a STEM partnership with the library. She did a great job of finding lots of information on why these things that I'm going to tell you about are important to our community. There are a few numbers I want to throw out. There are 7,787 economically disadvantaged students in Rutherford County. And 54.8% of Rutherford County students in grades 3 through 5 failed to meet the TCAP science standards. So what we can do as a library is help them out the very best that we can by offering books that will help enhance their curriculum. But another wonderful thing that Ginger did, she loves hands-on. So having grown up here in Laverne and going to the Laverne Public Library, she proposed that she will help us get together what's called learning links. So the Laverne Public Library will soon offer patrons access to the Smyrna Outdoor Adventure Center and to the Discovery Center at Murphy Spring for free. So what that means is a family of 4 children and 2 adults can come into the library. they can check out these passes to go to the Smyrna Outdoor Adventure Center. Now, these passes include daily admission to the center, and it does not provide access to after-hour events or the outdoor programming, which includes the pool. But it does include the climbing wall and so many other of their traveling events. What we are going to do is let the families check this out for a week, and they can go each day if they would like to, or a couple of days, and then they will bring it back and another family can go. We have 2 sets. We have a green set and a blue set. Then after a quarter, every quarter, if this family wants to go back, they can come back and check it out again. They offer great STEM, lots of good science activities, lots of good science experiments, so we're excited about that. Then Discovery Center in Murfreesboro, they have traveling exhibits also. They have the Murphy Spring there with all of the wildlife, and it's just a great place for families to go. They also gave to the center, gave to the library, they're partnering with us, 2 adult passes and 4 children passes. So another family, which are 2 of them, we have 2 of those, can go and visit Discovery Center. I appreciate Ginger working on this. She says she just wanted to give back to the community who had helped her to get her education and to go forth. So very, very much appreciated. I want to get Ginger in here on one of our BOMA meetings so that you can meet her. Very vivacious young lady, and you know, you think I used to have energy. Nah, no, she's got it, which is wonderful. So I wanted to share that with you. North American solar eclipse. So on April the 8th, 2024, a solar eclipse will cross North America. The northwest corner of Tennessee will witness a total eclipse. So if you're in Knoxville and in that area, you will witness a total eclipse like we did many years ago. The remainder of the state will see a partial eclipse. In Nashville, the partial solar eclipse will start around 12:44 p.m. and will end about 3:20 p.m. with the maximum coverage about 95% at 2:03 p.m. What the library is going to do this year, because we did a great big solar eclipse party the last time, we had 2,000 people join us. But we are going to provide solar eclipse glasses. They're going to be available Monday, April the 1st. Community can come by, pick up a pair for each person in their family while supplies last. And that way, if they are traveling to see the total eclipse, they will have their eclipse glasses. Or if they want to stand out in our backyard and see it, it will be available. So we're excited about that. I want to thank the mayor he said, are you going to do a solar eclipse something this year? And got me going on that. One last thing, the Easter drive-through. That is the most fun, most rewarding event that we can have, because you get to put on your bunny ears. And you get out there and you get to wave to all of the children as they're going by, and you get to hand out candy. David just reminded me that the library handed out big chocolate bunnies last year. I got to look into that because I got a really good deal last year, so we'll have to see with inflation how they are. But it is a wonderful event. I'm so excited that other departments are going to come out. I can't wait to see what your ears look like when you come out. And of course, the real Easter Bunny will be out there dancing and singing, and it's always a big hit. So on that, do we have any questions?
Just wondering if you have ears for Vice Mayor No.
I was wondering, I was going to ask David, I didn't want to throw him under the bus. Have we got an Easter bunny?
Oh, of course.
Oh, we
Yes, the Easter
always
Bunny
have
comes
an
every
Easter
year.
bunny.
All right, I'm just,
That's like asking if we have Santa Claus.
well, we got Santa Claus, but I
And
had
the
heard,
Grinch. Gotta talk
And
about,
the
we got the
Grinch,
Grinch.
right.
I had heard that, our Easter bunny had gotten sick.
Oh, I'm sure he has eaten plenty of carrot soup and is getting ready to be there.
On the Easter thing, there's always comments on social media about, I don't see why we can't have it out in the grass and stuff. And I just want to say, and I said it at the Parks meeting, and you just emphasized on it, that the grandparents, the parents, great-grandparents, it's so much easier on them. It's so much fun for the kids because everybody is treated equally. There's no trampling. Everything moves along in a nice, organized manner. So that's one of the best things that we've ever came up with for Easter, because as you all have been here longer than me know that the last one we had kids getting run over and trampled, and this way it's organized and it's just so much fun. So much fun.
It is a great event. I do miss the part of us gathering together and the community getting together, and I believe Alderman Hobbs has talked about that. Perhaps someday we will be able to do that again. This came out of the pandemic, so there was some good things that did come from the
Exactly.
pandemic. And Mayor Cole just asked, am I going to provide ears for you, Steve? So may I approach the bench, please?
Yes. Matches your shirt.
I guess I got voluntold, didn't I?
Stretch it out a little bit.
Oh, don't worry, here, stretch it out a little bit as well.
What are you trying to say?
It has to go on, just
Okay.
right. Okay, look up. There we go.
Let's see if you can keep that on for the rest of the meeting,
How long do I have to wear that?
till the end of the meeting.
I do expect them back. All right, any
Doug,
questions
David,
after all of that?
We won't,
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Moving on to the Finance Department, welcoming back Ms. Phyllis Rogers. You have to top that.
I'm
Don't
very
get-
sorry, I can't top that, that's just too much. You have before you the financial report, which is cumulative up through the end of January.
look up here when you talk.
Yeah, I see your bunny ears, those are quite cute. I just want to highlight a few things. As far as sales tax, we're still doing really well in sales tax revenues. We're about $1.3 million better than what we had budgeted for this time, and about $500,000 better than what we had budgeted prior over last year. I do want to mention property tax collections. We're at about 97.2% of the budget. And then the second page is your various bank balances. Third page is a comparison to prior year, and I just want to make a couple notes here. In the general fund, the reason expenses are up is because, of course, the fire station. And then in the water sewer fund, the revenues are down about $5 million, and that's because last year we received some ARPA money. Have any questions?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Moving on to the water treatment plant. Mr. Danny? No, sir.
The new finance lady really knows her stuff. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Board. I hope you've had the opportunity to take a look at our monthly report for month of February. A couple things to mention. We did have a senior leadership meeting from Infomark at the water treatment plant at the beginning of February. We had about 30 members from Infomark at the plant. They toured, had lunch, really enjoyed it, had nothing but good things to say. I know some of the board, if not all of them, were able to meet the senior leadership team. They were very happy to put some faces to names, and we also were able to visit the senior center for a couple hours, Myself, Dwayne, and Jerry, and a few other of the regional vice presidents played games, got our butts whooped in checkers and Uno and Rummy Cube, all that. So had a very good time. So we appreciate Kathy allowing us to set that up and Parks and Rec for making that happen. So any questions?
Danny, can you talk about the super pulsator vacuum pumps spare?
Yes, so we did have 2 of those worked on, one at a time. One motor had gone out. We got Wascon to take that back to their shop. They were able to fix that motor. They returned it, and of course, another one decided to go out right after they had dropped the other one off. We do have to replace that one. It has been ordered. Once it comes in, we'll install it.
What do you think the ETA is for that to come in?
I believe the lead time was only, I think it was like 4 to 6 weeks, so I think we're about halfway there.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Moving on to old business, second reading ordinance 2024-03, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2023-2024 general fund budget. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve from Vice Mayor No. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alderwoman Hobbs. Alderman Waldron.
Aye.
Alderwoman Hobbs.
Aye.
Alderwoman Haas.
Aye.
Vice Mayor No.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to the consent agenda. I need a motion to approve or deny.
Make a motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve from Alderwoman Haas. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Vice Mayor No. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to new business, first reading ordinance 2024-04, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2023-2024 general fund budget. Need a motion to approve or deny.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve from Alderwoman Haas. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alderwoman Hobbs. Alderman Waldron.
Aye.
Alderwoman Hobbs.
Aye.
Alderwoman Haas.
Aye.
Vice Mayor No.
Aye.
Motion passes. Resolution 2024-05, a resolution authorizing the City of Laverne to participate in the Public Entity Partners Cybersecurity Partners Matching Grant Program. Need a motion to approve or deny.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve from Alderwoman Haas. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Vice Mayor No. Alderman Waldron.
Aye.
Alderwoman Hobbs.
Aye.
Alderman Haas.
Aye.
Vice Mayor No.
Aye.
Motion passes. Resolution 2024-06, and a resolution to authorize the mayor to execute certain settlement agreements. Need a motion to approve or deny.
Motion to approve.
Have a
Second
motion,
for discussion.
have a motion to approve from Alderwoman Haas and a second from Alderman Waldron. Before we go to discussion, Evan, do you want to walk us through what changes have been made since the workshop on this?
Yes, sir, Mayor, I'd be happy to do that. So at the workshop, I know Alderman Hobbs requested that there be an addition made, which was number 2, that the Board of Mayor and Aldermen shall be notified of any settlement prior to the mayor's execution of the settlement agreement. So that provision has been added. That's in addition to what you saw last week.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any other discussion?
Yeah, this lawsuit authorization is to do with the Megan Hall lawsuit, right?
No, sir. I stated at the workshop by Mr. Cope, this is not for any one specific lawsuit. This is for any that the insurance settles. And Evan, can you confirm that?
Right, that's right. I mean, it would be inclusive of any lawsuit that's pending or filed against the city. So that would include the Megan Hall lawsuit or any other lawsuit that the city settles, well, that the insurance company pays for settlement.
Any other questions?
And that does not include taxpayer dollars, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. So in your policy of insurance with PEP, which is the city's current insurance liability carrier, you actually, when you have that insurance policy, you've actually granted them the authority to settle cases where they are the ones providing the defense if they elect to pay the money to settle the case. The insurance company likes to typically have the city sign off on those. They don't want to be in a position to have to settle a case without the city being okay with it, and this would just allow that to take place.
And can you talk about how that would affect any insurance premiums for the city?
I can't answer that. The insurance company would have to be able to answer that, so I don't know what impact it would have on the premium. But the decision of whether or not to pay for a settlement would belong to the insurance company.
So if it comes back, the members of the board and Mayor Allen shall be notified, and we would just be notified. It wouldn't be coming back to us for any kind of vote or anything or discussion. It would just be notified.
That's correct, yes, sir.
Any other questions?
This is just kind of my general thought on this resolution, but in the better of two evils here, I'd rather attract the negative attention for transparency and accountability to our community rather than attract negative attention for public perception that the Board of Mayor and Aldermen is attempting to sweep something under the rug or make closed-door deals, regardless of the case or circumstance. As a board, I don't feel that we should relinquish any more of our authority to the mayor. If we continue to do so, there's really no purpose for a board to serve. This is not a targeted point about Mayor Cole today, but the protection of future boards to come and keeping transparency and accountability at forefront. We need to be mindful of our decisions today and how they're going to affect the board, how the board operates in the future. If we want to look at how past decisions impact our board today, Alderman Waldron and I have requested discussion of the mayor hire fire authority since the day I've been in office. Mayor Waldron have requested it even be added to the agenda even well before that, and we're unable to get it open for discussion, and even then, a discussion doesn't guarantee any action or change. That authority was relinquished from the city administrator to the mayor over a decade ago based on the decision the board had made. And we're still here today trying to facilitate a change in a better way for our city employees so they don't have to fear for jobs and submission of any elected official. So again, we just really need to be mindful that these decisions we're making today are important to the future of the city and how the board operates. So today, I'm going to vote for transparency and accountability, and we'll vote no for this resolution. Thank you.
Any other discussion?
What is the, what is the pros and cons of this? Evan, Bruce?
And the only thing I would add, Mr. Vice Mayor, is it's completely up to you as a board whether or not, obviously, you want to do this. I mean, a pro would be, I guess, the efficiency of, if the insurance company is going to pay the money, of not having to come back before the board to approve something that the insurance company could do, whether you approved it or not. But I don't know that it's a pro or con. It's really just what is your preference? I can't speak for any other cities, but there's some cities I'm aware of that grant a certain amount of authority, up to a certain amount of authority to actually spend taxpayer dollars to settle lawsuits that never come before city council. So that's not what we have here. What we have here is that just the mayor would be signing off on a settlement agreement where the insurance company is actually paying the money. But whether it's a preference that you want to perform or not, that's completely up to you.
So if we are, as it says here, notified, that's going to be after the fact.
No, it would be prior to the mayor's execution of the settlement agreement. So the settlement agreement wouldn't be signed until notice went out to every member of the board that this settlement agreement is going to be signed by the mayor.
I think I get where Alderwoman Haas. I told y'all in the beginning that I'd mess this up. That where Hobbs is coming from, and I don't see any advantage or disadvantage to this that I can put my finger on myself.
And Evan, even further discussion of this, due to sunshine laws, though, even if we are notified before execution of the settlement, due to sunshine laws, we still wouldn't even be able to discuss it with the mayor. Is that right?
That's exactly right. Yes, ma'am. That's right.
So for my processing, so the insurance company requires signature of the mayor before they will execute a settlement payment.
Right, so, for example, in a lawsuit where the city is named as a defendant, when the lawsuit settlement agreement is prepared, the party that's the defendant has to sign and execute the settlement agreement. So that's right.
And if the board agrees to this, it would just expedite the process? Or would every settlement come to us as a board to vote on before the mayor can sign it?
So any settlement that involved the payment of taxpayer dollars would still come and would have to be voted on by this board. The only category of lawsuits this would apply to would be that category where only insurance money is used to pay the settlement.
Okay, I think I kind of went over. Okay, so the insurance company will wait to pay the settlement until it comes before us for agreement, or, I mean, I'm trying to, as far as transparency.
Sure. So I think you can think about it like this, like basically two categories of lawsuits that would come before you and be settled. One would be if they're going to be taxpayer dollars spent to settle it. Okay, so the insurance company says, we're not paying any money towards this. City of Laverne, if you want to settle it, you come out of pocket and pay for it. Or the insurance company could say, we'll pay half of it if the city pitches in and pays half of it. Even if it's $1, it has to come back up here before this board, okay? So all those settlement proposals would come back here before the board. The only ones that, if you pass this, and again, it's totally up to y'all, but if you pass this, this just means that settlements that only involve insurance money, only where the insurance company says, we want to pay this because we don't want to continue to pay lawyers to defend it, and we think it's a good decision to pay and settle. So we're going to spend the money to do that. We still have to have the city sign the settlement agreement. That would be, if you pass this, that would allow the mayor to sign those settlement agreements, but not any other ones.
So we're getting notified before the mayor signs it. What if we have any concerns about it?
I think if you were to email me, for example, and say, hey, I don't like that, then I would alert the mayor and say, because it has to have my signature also. So as long as I'm the city attorney, if any of you tell me you don't like it, I'm not signing it. And if I don't sign it, it doesn't get done.
Until it can come, be put on the agenda, and then we can
Exactly
discuss
right.
it.
So let's just take, for example, if you call me and say, Evan, I'm not comfortable with this, I'd say, yes, ma'am, I'm not signing it, and it goes on the agenda.
But though, if we vote yes on this, it gives the mayor the authority to act on it, and we have no, if we vote to pass this, we have no authority to do that. You might say that, but we're giving the mayor the power to do it.
Right, and let me be crystal clear about this one thing. I'm not a proponent or an opponent to this. Like, it does not matter to me. So I don't want anybody to be under the impression that I'm for it or against it. I'm just preparing the resolution. So to answer your question, Alderman Walden, yeah, that's right. I mean, it would not come back here before a vote.
Well,
So-
just say if you call me and says they're gonna make this deal, and I say I don't like it, well, we done gave the mayor the authority, so regardless of what I say or you say, it doesn't make no difference.
Well, but in this one, it would have to have my sign off also. So if you told me you didn't like it, and again, I mean, whoever's sitting in this chair, and I'm not advocating for this, but I would have to sign off on anything that fell under this category. So if any one of you called me, I would not sign it if you told me you didn't want it.
And Evan, I trust that you say that, but the concern is what if you're not our city attorney? We don't
Right.
have that.
And that's
You know
and
what I
that's
mean?
and that's what you
The
have to
next
think
city
about.
Attorney might just say, tough, this is what we're doing.
And that's a really good point. And I think with anything that you do like this, it's important to take the personalities and the individuals who hold the office at this moment out of the equation and think about, just in general, do you think this is a good idea or not? That's exactly the way you ought to think about it. Yeah.
So if it's voted no on, that's going to, if the insurance company says we need to do this and we need to do it now, that's going to slow down the process of getting it done. It's going to have to come back before the board, and it's going to have to be another month. And so on and so forth. Is that,
That's my understanding, yes, sir.
Yeah, but that's, you coming from this board for another vote. That's clarity, that's up front. The people will know about it. Doing the other, the public won't know if we gave X amount of $1 million or $500,000. You say the insurance money, not the city money, but if you have an accident and your insurance pays an accident, they gonna cancel your insurance or go up on your insurance. The bottom line, whatever the insurance pays off, the city, it's gonna cost the city in the long run. I mean, nothing's cheap, nothing's free. I mean, when you have an accident, and have 2 accidents, 3 accidents, most time your insurance gonna cancel you or go up on your insurance. So you're saying it's just costing the insurance company. Now it's costing the taxpayers money because on the long run, your premium's gonna go up.
Yeah, I'm not taking a position one way or the other.
I know it,
Yeah,
I know it.
Yeah.
But you mentioned just insurance money. But the bottom line is the more they pay out, the higher the premium will go.
has their insurances companies, have they expressed any kind of concern about not getting something settled quick enough in order to get it off the books and move on? Is that how this become about?
I'm not aware of that, so to my knowledge, no. I'm not aware of anything like that in terms of a time frame being critical at this point.
Would we be able to call a special meeting over any suit?
Absolutely, the mayor has the authority to call that.
The mayor has the authority, but a board member would not, we could request it, but it wouldn't necessarily be granted.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
We could have a special meeting and don't have to wait till the month. We could have a special meeting and have it settled probably immediately.
Does have to be properly advertised. Is that correct, Bruce?
How long you got to properly advertise? 3 days, Bruce?
Well, it takes about sometimes a week to get it in the newspaper, and then you got to have another 3 days after that. So you're looking at a minimum of 10 days before you can even have a meeting.
Well, a lot of things happen in a week. On that being said, I think I'll remove my second.
Okay, so we have a motion. Does anyone wish to second this?
Can I second for continued discussion?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Vice Mayor, I know you're talking about expedition of settlement process, but, I don't know if that's always advantageous, right? I mean,
I
sometimes it
agree.
is, but there are other times when it's not. So I go back to, I think we need to be mindful of what we're doing, and even when it comes to these settlements that, expedition isn't always a pro to look at.
Well, that's why I asked
Yeah.
if the insurance company had
Gotcha.
asked it or requested it.
Right. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Any more discussion? We have a motion, we have a second. Alderman Waldron.
No.
Alderwoman Hobbs.
No.
Alderwoman Haas.
No.
Vice Mayor, no.
No.
Motion fails. Moving on to motion to approve a lease and operating agreement with 50 Ford for the Laverne Senior Center. Need a motion to approve or deny.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve from Alderwoman Hobbs. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Vice Mayor,
With
no.
discussion, please.
Yes, I was just going to kick it back over to Evan because he loves to participate today. So walk us through what has changed, if
I'm
anything.
the star of the show. So we have a couple of changes from what was presented last time. They're actually positive changes. The chief change is the fact that in the version you saw last week at the workshop, the start date was going to be May 1st. I spoke with the CEO of 54 this morning and told her how desperately we needed this in place as soon as possible. The logistical issue that we had is that their board has to also approve this, and their next board meeting is not till sometime in the middle of April. But when I spoke with her this morning, she said that she would request her board hold a special meeting to consider this and vote to approve it. She said that based on their bylaws, that they have to give 10 days notice of any special meeting, so that if we approve it tonight, her plan would be to advertise a special meeting for her board with the goal of starting, she thought, sometime between April 1st and April 15th. And so the way the lease is written now, it still has a start date, it says, of May 1st, except in the event that 54 were able to start sooner, then the lease term would start sooner than that.
So can we go a step farther and talk to David? David, if you don't mind, and just, and I know me and Evan talked, and I appreciate that, Evan, and you heard what he said, David. If this passes this evening, and then I'm assuming Evan will call them tomorrow to let them know that it did in fact pass, and then they will work on their thing. But with everything being equal, it sounds like April 1st at the earliest.
I think that's exactly right. And one other thing I meant to mention is that obviously if the lease starts sooner than May 1st, then you would pay more money for that time period. So I want to mention that as well.
Okay, so I'm going to hope for the best here and shoot for April the 1st. And I want to turn to David and see, I know David's shorthanded. I understand, I know with all the events coming up that he's got things going on, he's got new people to train. But I just want you to talk a little bit about the center and trying to maintain, if at all possible, with a 3-day a week until then, if this passes. I keep saying that because we've not voted yet. And,
First, let me thank Evan and Katie and Bruce because they have been working relentlessly on this to get this knocked out. Obviously, where we're at now is not an ideal time frame for us. I cannot tell you exactly a concrete plan right now, but by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, I will be able to get you one. We're having a staff meeting with the Parks Department tomorrow to figure out how we are going to get the doors back open, because most of you are aware we were closed down this week. What that looks like right now, our plan is to have the doors open. How many people we can spare down there, if we can get one paid full-timer and maybe a volunteer, that's our plan. I don't know 100% right now. We definitely are shorthanded. We do have some new personnel coming on within the next week or two that is definitely going to need training, and that training, unfortunately, is going to have to take place through our events coordinator. Do I think we could do it? I think we could do it with one full-time person down there and maybe a volunteer. I definitely have you something by 9 o'clock in the morning. Told Bruce before the meeting, we're definitely going to work on something. We were seeing what direction this was going in and what our time frame would be. We definitely want the doors back open. You know, we're running a skeleton crew anyway, and a lot of you guys have been down there, so you know a lot of the services that were provided before have not been provided in this transition period. Unfortunately, that's probably may even be cut back less during this next month and a half, just so we can, if we can have a place together for them together, I think that's 90% of it right there. Doors open, they gather. What the rest of that looks like right now, I won't be able to tell you till tomorrow morning.
so if we can get the doors open for the next, and I'm going to be a little more or less time frame than you for the next few weeks, with Evan's help, at least give them a place to gather and talk and be with their friends and play games. I know that whenever Meals on Wheels shows up, it takes 2 or 3 people, a minimum of a couple of hours to make all of that happen. Maybe bring their own lunch or something, and we can get coffee out. I know I can ask my senior board if I can get one of them to volunteer a day. I'll volunteer a day, another day. Probably Alderwoman Hawes will come down and volunteer a day.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's going to be our biggest hurdle right now, the Meals on Wheels program. And if we cut that off for the next month, is that gonna affect 50 Forward coming in and picking that program back up? So we're gonna have to make those contacts in the morning also. It is a possibility that, some food funds do get reimbursed through GNRC, so it is a possibility if we went away from the Meals on Wheels, that we could still provide something down there for them and fully expect to get reimbursed through GNRC.
I know that you said you're having your meeting tomorrow and you're gonna have a good, solid answer, but while we are here live and on Channel 3, that I want the people to know that are watching that we are, and I say we, are all making a concerted effort to make this get done. The ball kind of got behind a little bit, so it put us behind, but I'm gonna hope, pray for April the 1st and make things happen, so.
And I haven't actually spoken with them since Evan started contract negotiations with them, but they did request like somebody to stay with them the first 30 days to kind of walk them through get them familiar with the seniors. If this does go through and we get them in the door, my better half has been volunteering. I don't want to throw her out there, but I'm sure she would, if we don't have a full-time staff member, at least she'll be a familiar face for them.
Oh, yeah, and there again, the people that I just mentioned, we will, to get things up and going.
But I think it's a great move. I think it's a step in the right direction. We've struggled with that down there always, and I think this is going to grow it. It gives them better opportunities. It gives them a whole avenue that we cannot provide for them as far as resources. To me, it's a no-brainer.
You brought up about the Meals on Wheels. I done the Meals on Wheels for about 4 years, and anytime y'all need any help on Meals on Wheels, I'd be available anytime, Monday through Friday. Most of the time when I done it in 4 years, I knew 9 out of 10 of the people that I took the meals to. It's a great program. The people really, really look forward for the Meals on Wheels. So if y'all need an extra hand, I'm always available between Monday and Friday, because some of the board members has got full-time jobs, but I'm retired, so I can adjust my schedule.
Well, that Meals on Wheels program now is all done on site, so they deliver in the morning to the center, and we don't home deliver meals. So it's just I think right now, 41 seniors get 3 meals a week out of our center through Meals on Wheels, so if they're not there, then we don't service them outside that building.
Yeah, back then, we brought them to the house.
And I'm sure there's still a program out there like that, but it's just not something that our center provides.
Any other discussion?
Thank you.
Alderman,
Thank you, David.
Alderman Waldron,
No?
Alderman Hobbs,
Yes.
Alderman Haas,
Yes.
Vice Mayor No,
Aye.
and I vote aye. Motion passes. Moving on to appoint or remove board and committee members. First, we've got the Senior Citizens Advisory Committee. The term for Mary Jane Skinner expired in January, and she would like to remain on this committee. There's no other applicants for this, so I will reappoint her to that board. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes. And then we have the Stormwater Appeals and Advisory Board. We have one applicant, Ashley Bruley, thank you. And so I will appoint her to that board. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Then last item, motion to approve an agreement with salary.com. I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second for discussion.
Second from Alderwoman Hobbs. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Evan, could you explain a little bit more about why you can't approve this?
Yes, I sure can, and I might actually have to rely on my associate to speak on some of that too. She prepared the memo that pointed that out, and so I can pull the memo up. I don't know, is it in the packet, Glenn?
It's the very last page of the packet. If Katie would like, she can come to the podium and speak to it. No pressure, though.
None. Thank you for having me. There are a couple of provisions in the agreement. The terms and conditions are locked and they're just hosted on the website, so there aren't we wouldn't necessarily be able to approve them. We can't make changes to them. As discussed on the website, there are a couple of provisions that run afoul of the Tennessee Constitution, and we feel like they're inapplicable to the city as a whole, but since salary.com is not willing to adjust them, we flagged them in the memo for y'all's consideration.
Is that pretty standard with larger corporations?
It is, and this is a software contract, so it's not unheard of to hear that they're not willing to make concessions.
And you already have another one in front of you. Oh. Any other discussion?
I guess, go ahead.
Andrew, you feel confident
Yeah,
that this
as-
program will be adequate for your needs?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
That's a big, long answer, wasn't it? No, I think we had a good discussion with it last week, and we appreciate all of your all's input and Andrew's, I guess.
Thank you.
Time to vote.
Thank you, Katie. We have a motion and a second. Alderman Waldron.
Aye.
Alderwoman Hobbs.
Aye.
Alderwoman Haas.
Aye.
Vice Mayor No.
Aye.
I vote aye. Motion passes. Moving on to Mayor and Alderman comments. Alderman Waldron.
Okay, I want to be everybody aware now, we're getting that time of the year, daylight savings time. Saturday night, if you'll set your clocks up an hour, you'll be on time. If you don't, you're going to be out of time. You're going to be at least early or late for church, according to where your church is. So you set your, Saturday night, before you go to bed, if you set your clocks up an hour, you'll be on time. And great time while you're doing that to replace your batteries and your smoke alarms. That's the time I do it. And always check on the elderly. Make sure your pets have ample shade, shelter, and fresh water. And again, been over 3 years, and each time that I put something on the agenda just for discussion, it gets pulled off. I put 3 or 4 items on this month, all 4 of them got pulled off. But, that's okay, because you got Mayor and Alderman comments, I can always discuss it during my time, unless they do something that we can't talk. I wouldn't put that past some of them. But hiring and firing has been a big issue, and a lot of the lawsuits that we've had probably wouldn't have affected if the hiring and firing would have been something done to it. I'm not a financial wizard like Phyllis, but I kind of see that we're approaching $1 million, a little over $1 million in lawsuits. They say, well, the insurance pays for it. It's just like I said earlier. If you have 3 car wrecks, if you got Allstate's going to counsel you, raise your premium. So nothing's free. Nothing's free. And about the road conditions. I've drove this last 10 days. I've drove every street in Laverne, and I've never seen so many streets in need of something than I've seen in 30 years. It's Stones River, Old Nashville, Jefferson Pike, even the subdivision roads is got the I call the spider web cracks, in it where the big trucks has went over, and that's the first sign of road failure. And the roads needs attention. I know David, he does a great job, and it's just like David said, short-handed. Everybody's short-handed. Another thing I put in the discussion about the police and fire, short-handed. I know the fire chief said he had 1 vacancy. I think the police department is around 15. I know I went past 2 or 3 car accidents in the last week, and I've seen detectives and the upper end of the police department out there working the wrecks. 15 vacancies. That's not counting the the national average of how many policemen we should have per 1,000 of people of population. You know, when I put something on the agenda for discussion, I feel it's important. Somebody pulls that off, you know, that's, I served as mayor for 4 years. I never pulled a member of this board agenda off. You know, I don't know, but, you know, I have I guess you got an unlimited time limit on the mayor and alderman comments. So even though they pull them off, he pulls them off, I'm gonna talk about it on my dime. So with that being said, everybody have a good weekend.
Alderwoman Hobbs.
Yeah, just looking forward to seeing everybody at the Easter drive-through on March 23rd from 10 to 11:30. I think most of the board will be there, smiling with our happy little ears on with Donna. So look forward to seeing everybody, and thank you, Vice Mayor. No. But that's all I have. Thank you.
Alderwoman Haas.
You forgot something.
Oh, did
Breakfast.
I forgot the breakfast. You go ahead. Go ahead, Carol.
I keep waiting for you to say it. The ham breakfast at the Laverne Rescue Center, Saturday from 6 to 11?
6 to 10.
6 to 10. It's very good, so everybody come out for that. Looking forward, once again, to the Easter egg drive-through. Chief, will you have ears?
If you bring ears for me, I'll wear them.
All right. Here I come, the Easter Bunny store. USL baseball and softball sign-ups online are through tomorrow. Also, the USL basketball tournaments are occurring, tonight, tomorrow night, and then all day Saturday out at Rock Springs Elementary. It's a lot of great entertainment. We have some very, very talented kiddos in Laverne, and the older group is just like watching college basketball. I watched them last night, and they were just awesome. So, and there's also a skills set Saturday before the championship game, which kids sign up for, and they dribble and they shoot, and whoever wins gets a really good prize also. So come out and support the kiddos. Tomorrow night starts at 6 o'clock out at Rock Springs, and then games start at 8 o'clock Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Bunny.
I want our community and our seniors to know that we are trying and we're working hard. We're doing all we can do. You can see from our Parks and Rec department, our legal department, that we are trying to get things put together. Be a little bit more patient. It's not anything that anybody has done or not done, that they're working hard. The roads were mentioned. Mike, Doug, I know you guys are out there every day. But besides the roads that have to be fixed, you've got your regular jobs that you have to do. And I know that you can't do those roads all the time. Hopefully the asphalt plants will be opening up soon. You guys will get a game plan, but all I can tell you, if you think Laverne is bad, take a stroll down through Nashville and then holler back. It's bad everywhere. That ice storm, I bet it's hard on the cruisers and the fire trucks and stuff. I know it is. I can't imagine what it feels like in one of those 100,000-pound trucks or whatever they weigh. But I, for one, appreciate everything you guys doing. All you departments, all of them. Everybody's working hard. And it's going to get better. It's going to be all right. Everything's going to be okay. But it ain't going to happen tomorrow afternoon. It's going to happen. I know I see Andrew, he's trying to get some help in his department. Everything's clicking. Everything's going to be fine. We're going to be okay. I appreciate all you departments, everything you do. Miss Phyllis is back looking strong. I understand she's back with us for 7 years. That's pretty cool.
She needs a nameplate, though.
Oh, she don't. Jerry was all over. That's all I got, Mr. Mayor.
Alderwoman Hush, you said you had
Sorry,
one more thing.
I have another one. Andrew and Leah put on the best Employee Appreciation Day today. Alderwoman Hobbs was here. I helped out. It was great to see staff members and employees from other areas that I don't interact with a lot during the month or whatever. They did great. Thank the supervisors for allowing their staff members to come in, and the fellowship. I mean, it was a great time. So thank you, Andrew, and to Leah. I know that she put it. Oh, and Chief. Oh, your new house. Your new house hit the firehouse. I asked Chief. He said looking at June now. So I forgot to mention that. So thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome.
Well, I want to start off by saying I look forward to seeing everybody with our Easter drive-through. David, Miss Donna, the whole team does an amazing job. There's cars lined up all throughout the parking lot. Kids hanging out of windows, jumping up and down whenever they see the Easter Bunny or the Vice Bunny. And it's such a fun time. So I really hope if you have children that you come down and visit us for that, because it is a lot of fun. I want to piggyback what Vice Bunny was saying, and that Michael Dietz and Doug, not David, work pretty hard on our roads. In fact, I know Doug gets a lot of emails, calls, and text messages from me with different potholes. So if you see something, as our police chief and former police chief has said, if you ever see anything, say something, please. Let the team know, because they hit a lot of roads, but they can't be everywhere and see everything. So personally, I thank you for the jobs you are doing. I know compared to Davidson County, potholes look 10 times better. So thank you both. Do want to address, as far as the agenda items, there were no 4 that were submitted. I don't know where that's coming from. There was one action item, not discussion, that was submitted for the removal of the hire and fire from the mayor, and to give that to the city administrator. That was presented on the agenda, as it has been each month, and was threatened even before Alderman Waldron took office. That's a level of control that if someone's hired who they don't like, well, then the board would just fire Bruce. That's not a good way to have have a working partnership with our city administrator to start that off with a threat. So that's why I removed it. As far as whatever these other 3 items are, they were never submitted. That never went through our city administrator and never came to me. So with that, I call this meeting adjourned.